Hi children. So I welcome all of you to the new video session. So this is part 4 video session, and in the previous video session, in the previous 3 video sessions, we have discussed about the chapter 1. What was the name? It was nutrition in plants, isn't it? So in the second chapter, chapter 2, we will be dealing with nutrition in animals. Okay, so this is the new chapter we are going to discuss about. So, in this previous chapter, chapter 1, nutrition in plants, what did we learn? We learned how the plants obtain their nutrients or nutrient requirement, how they are meeting, isn't it? We so that most of the plants are able to synthesize their own food in order to meet their nutrient requirements of their body, isn't it? So in this chapter we will be learning how these animals are meeting their nutrition requirement. Okay, so in this chapter you will be learning about what are the different ways by which animals will take their food. Okay, different ways by which animals are taking their food. Secondly, you will learn about how digestion is taking place in human beings, as well as how digestion is taking place in grass eating animals. Okay, and finally you will also learn how amoeba is carrying out its digestion process. So mainly 4 major areas will be covered in this chapter. So let me recall what you have learned in the previous chapter. Starting with this word meaning, what have you learned? You have learned that they are the mode of taking food. Nutrition is the mode of taking food and how it is utilized by the body. So in this chapter also we are going to learn more about it. Starting with the first topic. Our first topic was different modes of taking food. How organisms take their food. Okay, different ways by which organisms take in food. Take food. After this, we will also learn about our human digestive system. Okay, human digestive system. So these are the main topics that we are going to cover today in our new chapter, that is nutrition in animals. So in this chapter, firstly, before beginning the topic, let us recall what we have learned in the previous chapter. You know what is nutrition. The nutrition, in nutrition, it includes the mode of taking food as well as how it is utilized in the body and its utilization in the body. Okay, so children, by the term nutrition we meant how we organisms takes in the food and also how our body uses it in order to meet the nutrition requirements. Understood? So coming into our animal nutrition, what does it mean, animal nutrition? Animal nutrition also includes this nutrition requirement. Okay, they include their nutrient requirement, then mode of taking food and utilization in the body. So animal nutrition is including these 3 factors, which are the nutrient requirements, mode of taking food and the utilization in the body. So children, you how the animals are obtaining their food. How are they obtaining their food? Yes, they will be either depending on other plants. Some animals will be depending on other plants. While there are some other animals, they will be depending on other animals. Okay, so these other animals will be having their food on plants. So animals are always directly or indirectly depending upon plants only. Besides all these, there are other category of animals. What do? They will eat both these plants as well as animals. So animals, they obtain their nutrient requirement or they eat different varieties of food. Animals often eat different varieties of food because their body needs such and such nutrients for their survival. Understood? Therefore, animal nutrition includes nutrient requirements, mode of taking food and their utilization in the body. Now, you have learned that there are different categories or different varieties of food, isn't it? So, all these foods are containing different components in it. What do you call that components of the food? They are nutrients. So, these nutrients include, which are the major nutrients? Can you tell? Carbohydrate. Yes, carbohydrate. Then fat, proteins. Then what? Carbohydrate, fat, proteins, vitamins, minerals. Besides these, food also contain dietary fibers. Dietary fibers. Okay, and also water. So these are the main nutrients present in the food. So we said that animals obtain these nutrients from different varieties of the food they are taking. Understood? But if you see this carbohydrate or any other nutrient, they are in a complex form only. Okay, so you imagine this is a complex form of a carbohydrate. They are made up of small simpler units. They all join together to form a complex carbohydrate molecule. Now, our body cannot utilize this as a whole. Our body cannot utilize this as a whole. So, what should our body do? It needs to break down into small simpler units. So, it needs to break down small simpler units. So, this complex substances needs to be break down into small simpler units. Okay, then only our body can. So you see, this complex substance need to be break down into small such units, such simpler units. Then only our body can utilize it. So that is done through the process of digestion. Okay. Digestion. What is digestion? എന്താണ് digestion എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? It is the process by which complex substances of the foodile complex substances എല്ലാം they are break down into simpler units. They are break down into simpler units or simpler substances. So digestion is the process by which the complex components of the food, they are break down into simpler substances. Okay, so the complex components of the food are break down into simpler substances. So this process is called digestion. So it is this digestion which helps our body to utilize these nutrients. Understood? So imagine if you get a favorite chocolate. If if I give you your favorite chocolate, what will you do? You will grab it away and eat it, chew it, and then swallow it right at that time itself, isn't it? So you all like chocolates to eat, isn't it? Yes. So you are eating by chewing and then swallowing, isn't it? So, but is the same method followed by every organism? Do every organism follow the same method? No. So, different organisms take food through different ways. This we will be discussing in our first topic, different ways by which organisms attain their food or organisms take their food. So this chapter you can see in page number 11. In page number 11 you can see our new chapter. Page number 11 you can see our new chapter. Okay, so children, here you can see table 2.1. This table 2.1 we can do it now. Okay, so be ready to do with me. So children, this table 2.1 which is given in your page number 11 that we are going to discuss now. So I have written the major points of that table here. So in this topic, different ways of taking food. You might already know how you were as a baby, how you took your food. You mainly depended on your mother's milk, isn't it? So several animals also depend on their mother's milk only. Now you take the case of a you take the case of a bees or a hummingbird. They will be sucking the nectar from a flower. They will be sucking the nectar from a flower. Okay, so they takes their food in that way only. Now, if you consider the case of snakes like python and all, how do they will swallow their prey. They will swallow their prey. Okay, so different animals take their food in different ways, and thereby we call such modes of feeding different names. So that names you can see it in the text. In the below of that table you can see within the bracket some names: scraping, chewing, siphoning, capturing and swallowing, sponging and sucking. We can see these animals what they would follow. First of all we can discuss about the food they eat. This snail, how do these snail feed? Often this snail, they are seen along with plants, isn't it? They are seen along with plants. They will be eating the leaves, flowers, etc. of these plants only. Now coming on to the next, that is ant. What do? They will eat food particles. They will scrape the food and eat them. Eagle you might have seen flying through the sky, isn't it? They will capture the prey and then swallow it. Okay, coming to hummingbird, you have seen small bird, colorful bird. Mostly it will be dark in color. Okay, how it will feed it food? It will take nectar from the flower. Now lice and mosquitoes and all, they will feed on the blood of your body. Okay, mosquitoes also will suck the plant juices also. Butterfly also, how does it take its food? It takes its food from the flower nectar, that is the fruit juices of the flower. Now housefly, it will also eat any food that is coming in its way. So you know how these houseflies feed? They will secrete their saliva onto the food particle and it will make it liquefy these substances or food particles, and then it will absorb. Accordingly, we can name these different modes of feeding. Okay, so firstly, snail. They will scrape their food and eat. Therefore, it is known as scraping. The mode of feeding found in them is flowers and then eat. Ant also follows similar mode of feeding, scraping itself. Eagle, as we said, it will capture and swallow. Okay, the mode of feeding them in them is capturing and swallowing. Hummingbird. How do hummingbird? They will suck the nectar. Okay, they will suck the nectar. Sucking is the mode of feeding that they are following. Lice and mosquito. Lice and mosquito, they will pierce our cell. They will pierce our cell and have the blood. That is also sucking. Butterfly also siphons. Siphoning. What is siphoning? Okay, what is siphoning means that it is just drinking the nectar like we drink through a straw. Okay, from a surface. So that is what we mean by siphoning. In the case of housefly, we know that they will secrete the saliva on the food particles and they will then absorb those nutrients from the liquid. Therefore, it is known as sponging. Okay, so these are the main modes of feeding followed by different organisms. It includes scraping, then eagle follows capturing and swallowing, hummingbirds, then lice, mosquito, they all suck their food. Then butterfly through siphoning and housefly through sponging. So students, these are the different modes of taking. You can also see an interesting, amazing fact which you can read it in a textbook. Page number 12. Okay, so this starfish is having an interesting mode of nutrition. How do they eat their food? They will just pop out their stomach through their mouth. They will put out their stomach through the mouth. Then it will have their stomach outside through their mouth. It will have the food and after having it will just put its stomach back through its mouth. So that is an interesting, isn't it? Now students, next we can move on to the digestion in human beings. Okay. So children, now we are going to look into the human digestive system. We said that our human body or any organisms need to digest these nutrients, then only our body can utilize them. Okay, so for that we have a digestive system. So this is a representation of your digestive system. You know, we take the food through our mouth, isn't it? So we take our food through our mouth. Afterwards, some processes are taking place inside our body, isn't it? Afterwards, what will happen? The food, unused food is defecated. Okay, the unused food is defecated. Okay, so you can also see this image in your textbook, page number 12. Here you can see this same image. So you can just refer to this image while you are hearing to this class. Okay, to this image. This present in figure 2.2 in page number 12. Okay, so we said that we have our food through our mouth, and finally the food is defecated through anus. So this our food is flowing through a long canal-like pathway. Our food is flowing through a canal-like pathway and finally this is moving out of our body through the anus as fecal matter only. Now where does this flow starts? It starts from our mouth. That part is known as buccal cavity. Buccal cavity. Now the end point is the anus. So this forms a long chain and there are some important parts, major compartments, and all these major compartments together we call it as digestive tract. Okay, so this digestive tract, it contains firstly buccal cavity. Buccal cavity, then it moves on to our food pipe, that is esophagus. You see esophagus, it moves through the esophagus, then reaches the stomach. You can see stomach. Okay, this is the stomach. Afterwards, it will reach the small intestine. Then it will move on to the large intestine and pass out through the anus. Understood? The food enters through the buccal cavity, moves out to the esophagus. This pipe-like structure is called esophagus, and it will reach the stomach. Afterwards, what will happen? It will move out to the small intestine. You can see this coiled structure. They are very much coiled. Okay. Then it will enter the large intestine, that is which is surrounding here, and it will move out through the anus. So the major compartments or components of this digestive tract includes buccal cavity, then esophagus. It is also known as food pipe. Then it reaches stomach. Then it will then reach small intestine, then large intestine, then rectum, and then anus. Rectum and then anus. So all together these 6 compartments are forming the digestive tract. Along with this, you can also see some other structures here. So what might be their purpose? They will secrete digestive juices. Okay, digestive juices are secreted by, you know what is a digestive juice, isn't it? They will help in the digestion, or they will break down these complex food substances into simpler ones. So these digestive juices secreted by the other organs, that is liver, then pancreas, also you can see salivary glands. So these 3 glands, salivary gland, liver, pancreas. Okay, so all these will secrete digestive juices. So these digestive juices, besides this, it is also secreted by our stomach and small intestine. Our stomach and small intestine also secrete these digestive juices. So they are not glands. Okay, so stomach and small intestine. So these digestive juice helps in the breaking down of these complex food materials, and therefore this digestive tract along with these glands together they are called the digestive system. These are the glands. Associated glands together are called the digestive system. Okay, so children, this digestive system helps to break down the food we eat. You know, this is a long pathway, isn't it? It moves through the mouth, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Okay, besides this, there is also some glands. They will be secreting digestive juices. Which are they? Salivary gland, liver and pancreas. Together this digestive tract along with the associated glands, they are known as digestive system. Okay, so what is the importance of this digestive system? This length, as the food flows through this digestive system, it is getting digested, isn't it? So this digested food, it will be then absorbed by our body in order to meet our nutrition requirement only. We need energy, we need to grow. So all these requirements are met by this digestion. So it is a very important process, isn't it? So children, today what we have learned was how different organisms take in food. Different organisms take in food. there are different modes of taking food. We saw sucking, then siphoning, then sponging, then capturing and swallowing. So all these are different modes of taking their feed by different organisms. Now we also saw which organ system, which digestive system it helps in the digestion of food. That is, in humans it is digestive system. As the food passes through the buccal cavity and then food pipe or esophagus and then stomach, pancreas, liver, small intestine, then it will enter the large intestine. Then as the food reaches the large intestine, the unused or the undigested food, okay, the remaining, it will be ejected out or it will be removed from the body through the anus. So this is a long process. Therefore, what is the importance of our digestive system to be this much long? That is in order to facilitate the maximum digestion and maximum absorption of these nutrients. Okay, so that is why there is a long pathway like this. Understood? So children, so now we have understood that the digestive tract and the different glands associated in the human digestive system, and this will help in digesting the food. And in the next class, we will be upcoming class, we will be dealing how each of these parts helps in digesting, how each of these parts are helping in digestion process. Okay, so children, thank you. So please do watch this video repeatedly, as there are several new terms introduced to you today. Okay, so children, till then, bye.